What if we told you 1976 wasn't just another year in rock history? It was a turning point. A time when guitars soared louder, lyrics cut deeper, and entire generations found their anthems. From the dusty highways of California to the packed arenas of Boston and Detroit, this was the year rock went widescreen, bigger, bolder, and unforgettable. Today we're counting down 10 iconic rock songs from 1976 that didn't just top the charts. They shaped memories, sparked revolutions, and still hit just as hard all these decades later. Number 1, Hotel California by The reason this song feels less like a track and more like a place. Released in December 1976, Hotel California became the Eagles' a layered, slow-burning epic built on cryptic storytelling and a sound that captured the tension of an era drifting from innocence to indulgence. The guitar work alone made history. Don Felder and Joe Walsh crafted dual solos that danced between restraint and eruption, recorded separately but stitched together so seamlessly that it became one of the most iconic codas in rock. Criteria Studios in Miami and mixed in Los Angeles, the song was painstakingly assembled, every note fine-tuned for atmosphere and weight.
Welcome to the Hotel California.
It won the Grammy for Record of the Year, but the real reward came later. Decades on, Hotel California isn't just remembered, it's revisited. A song that still invites listeners to lose themselves and wonder if they'll ever quite leave. Number 2, More Than a Feeling by Boston. When Boston released their debut album in 1976, few expected it to redefine the sound of arena rock. But that's exactly what happened. At the heart of it was More Than a Feeling, a masterclass in production and melodic power. Tom Schultz, an MIT-trained engineer, recorded much of the track in his basement studio, layering guitar harmonies with surgical precision. Every chord shimmered with clarity. Every transition felt like liftoff. What made the song special wasn't just its pristine sound. It was the emotion buried beneath the polish. There was longing, there was drive, and there was an almost scientific understanding of how to hit the listener right in the chest. It wasn't just a hit. It became a blueprint for power ballads, for big choruses, and for an entire generation of rock radio. More Than a Feeling was the moment Boston went from unknowns to legends in just over 4 minutes. Number 3, Carry On Wayward Son by Kansas. Few songs walk the line between complexity and power quite like this one. And for Kansas, it marked a breakthrough they'd been chasing for years.
I hear the voices when I'm dreaming. Oh, I can hear them say.
By 1976, the band had built a loyal following in the Midwest, but it was this track that catapulted them onto the national stage. Carry On Wayward Son wasn't just a song, it was a statement. A blend of classical complexity, prog ambition, and pure hard rock punch. Guitarist Kerry Livgren wrote it during a moment of personal searching, and the band brought it to life with tight harmonies, shifting time signatures, and a riff that felt carved in stone. What made it stand out was its balance. Philosophical weight delivered with stadium-sized swagger. It was complex, but never confusing. Spiritual, but still grounded in grit.
Carry on!
The song became their first top 40 hit and remains a cornerstone of classic rock. a reminder that even the most introspective message can sound thunderous when played loud enough. Number 4. Detroit Rock City by Kiss. By 1976, Kiss had already mastered the spectacle, fire, makeup, and mayhem. But this track proved they had the songwriting chops to match the show. Detroit Rock City kicks off Destroyer, their boldest and most ambitious album to date. Inspired by a real-life fan tragedy, the song blends adrenaline with reflection, roaring guitar riffs crashing into lyrics that hint at how fragile it all really is. Producer Bob Ezrin, fresh off work with Alice Cooper, pushed the band harder than ever. He added layered arrangements, sound effects, and a cinematic touch that turned the track into more than just a concert staple. It became a full-blown rock opera in miniature. Live, it was explosive. On record, it revealed a depth and precision that few expected from the band. For a group known for wild theatrics, Detroit Rock City was a rare moment where the music burned just as brightly as the fire on stage. Number 5, The Boys Are Back in Town by Thin Lizzy. Few songs capture the feeling of returning to familiar streets like this one. Thin Lizzy had already weathered lineup changes and near misses, but this track was the breakthrough.
They were asking if you were around, how you was, where you could be found.
The Boys Are Back in Town was a swaggering, guitar-driven anthem that radiated confidence, the thrill of reunion, the chaos of youth, and the electricity of one unforgettable night. Harmonies from Scott Gorham and Brian Robertson became the band's signature, melodic, locked in, and endlessly influential. And frontman Phil Lynott, he delivered it all with a poet's heart and a fighter's grit.
And that time over at Johnny's place, well, this chick got up and she smacked Johnny's face.
It was never meant to be the single. The label picked it almost as an afterthought. But once it hit the airwaves, it took off like wildfire. Decades later, it's not just a song. It's shorthand for freedom, rebellion, and the unbeatable feeling of coming home to your people. Quick break. Your turn. What's your favorite rock memory from 1976? Was there a song that defined that year for you? Drop it in the comments. We're reading them all. Number 6, Rockin' Me by Steve Miller Band. Few songs from the era felt as instantly satisfying as this one. Rockin' Me was upbeat, confident, and tailor-made for summer drives and FM radio. Steve Miller delivered it with effortless cool, pairing a steady rhythm with one of the catchiest choruses of the decade. He originally wrote it to warm up crowds while opening for Pink Floyd, but it quickly outgrew its purpose, becoming a chart-topping anthem and one of the defining tracks of his career. There's no overthinking here, just good energy, crisp guitar work, and a hook that's stuck with fans ever since.
Keep on rocking me, baby. Keep on rocking me, baby.
Number 7, If You Leave Me Now by Chicago.
If you leave me now, you'll take away the biggest part.
This was the moment Chicago traded brass blasts for something more tender, and it struck a chord worldwide. Built around Peter Cetera's smooth, soaring vocal, If You Leave Me Now marked a shift in the band's sound.
How could we let it slip away?
The horns were still there, but now they floated behind soft acoustic guitars, strings, and a melody designed to linger. The track became their first #1 single, topping charts around the globe and winning 2 Grammys. It wasn't just popular, it redefined what Chicago could be.
We've come too far to leave it all behind.
For many listeners, this song became the soundtrack to heartbreak, slow dances, and quiet reflection.
When tomorrow comes and we both regret.
And even now, it still carries that unmistakable mix of sweetness and ache.
No, baby, please don't go.
Number 8, Let 'Em In by Wings.
Someone's knocking at the door. Somebody's ringing the bell.
Paul McCartney had nothing left to prove, but that didn't stop him from experimenting.
Do me a favor, open the door, let 'em in.
The track is deceptively simple on the surface, a steady piano rhythm, marching drums, and a list of names that feel both personal and cryptic.
Martin Luther, feeling the yeah.
But underneath, it's a masterclass in arrangement. Layered horns, flutes, and subtle textures that give it a warm, almost hypnotic charm. Unlike the bombast of some of his Beatles-era anthems, this song invites rather than demands. It feels like opening a door to memories, family, and fragments of stories left unsaid. It wasn't McCartney's flashiest hit, but its staying power lies in how effortlessly it draws you in, one knock at a time. Number 9, This Song by George Harrison. After years of legal battles over My Sweet Lord,
I really wanna see you. Really wanna feel.
George Harrison decided to respond the only way he knew how, through music and a bit of dry humor.
No, don't infringe on anyone's copyright song.
The track is a tongue-in-cheek commentary on copyright lawsuits, complete with self-aware lyrics, ironic asides, and a musical structure that playfully references other tunes.
Could be you, could be.
But beyond the satire, it's also a tightly crafted slice of rock and soul, featuring Billy Preston on keyboards and Eric Idle of Monty Python in the background vocals.
This song we let be. This song is it.
Harrison recorded it with a kind of looseness that stood apart from the spiritual weight of his earlier solo work. It was witty, funky, and unmistakably George, clever without being cynical.
This song came to me, unknowing.
While it may not have reached the same commercial heights as his biggest hits, the track stands out as a moment of defiance and laughter in the face of pressure.
Without you, there's no point to this song.
Number 10, It's a Long Way There by Little River Band.
People on the road are getting nowhere.
Smooth, expansive, and unexpectedly ambitious. This was the song that introduced the world to Australia's Little River Band.
It's a long way to where I'm going.
The track opens like a soft breeze and gradually builds into a layered, harmony-rich journey that echoes the complexity of bands like the Eagles or Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Every night I walk around the city.
But there's something distinctly their own in the pacing, the phrasing, and the clean, soaring vocal blend.
I'm gonna keep on trying. I'm gonna keep on trying.
At over 8 minutes in its full album form, it wasn't tailored for radio, yet it still managed to become a breakout hit.
Every night I walk around the city.
That's the power of craftsmanship over formula.
It's a long way there. It's a long way to where I'm going.
It's a Long Way There didn't just showcase their talent. It laid the groundwork for a decade of success, proving that even a long road can lead to something unforgettable.